Okay, moving on, we got Shiba. So I drew this as if price would break this area, because again it was bearish, way below this moving average, but since last looking at this, you can see it didn't do that. It never broke this zone, so there was no trade, no short trade. But now we can see that price is completely different than what we thought originally would be at the start of the month, so that's all right too. You can see that this and I mean, I remember when I set that up, there was some bullish structure setting up here, but yeah, now so price is still below this moving average now, but it came up and basically touched it, and now did close a tiny bit above, but then the next day pushed back down. So now, I mean, looking at this, I think we still yeah, this is a little tough, because you have bullish momentum since, you know, mid-June kind of thing, but this last candle, although this last weekly candle was very, very bullish, I mean, you still got a huge wick here. So and now you got, you know, playing on these moving averages, price is below this daily moving average still, but it is above on the 4 hour. So I would probably look for this monthly range, which I think is about 15, which I have it marked up here. Might be over average now, to be honest. So, but we'll move these up a little bit and figure out. Yeah, I mean, price is already above our normal monthly range. But again, the ranges for these currencies, these cryptocurrencies, are all over the place. So we'll call it 800, because that's pretty close. So we're already we've already extended our monthly range kind of thing based on how these usually move. But I mean, the monthly ranges are very inaccurate, so I probably wouldn't even go off this, to be honest. So I would just look for another zone to zone kind of trade. So you kind of got this one right here on the daily. You can see came up, rejected right at this 1,000 level, so that's actually a good marker. I'm going to put that in. So it's just the decimal places. So at 1,000, and then this one is also 1,000. So we'll just call this. Oh, that's ugly. You can't see that. You get the drift, though. It's right at this 1,000. You know, I don't even know what decimal place that is, but we'll just call it 1,000. And so then it got rejected, and now it's pushing back down. So now I would look to enter a trade and target this zone again, but you want to find a zone of support here. So on a 4 hour, you actually have this area here, and then you have this huge bullish candle coming out of this zone, but now is going to test this little area here. So it's got to break this little area, but by then, I mean, your risk to reward's not great. We don't know the monthly range on Doge, or on Shiba, sorry. So like, you kind of have to really, you can really only trade zone to zone. So like, this is a zone and this is a zone, that's it. We can't really go above this, because you don't know if it's going to break. You don't know how much range there's in this pair. Like, I mean, it could blow through the zone and keep going this month, but as far as like, the ranges are just really out to lunch. So we got to go zone to zone. What I see in the market right now is I see this bullish move and a pullback, and then, you know, if this candle doesn't close above this previous candle here, then I would still wait. But this is a supply zone right now, so I would probably look for price to come back down to this zone before entering anything. And then you get something like this, which you could do. It might not do that, but I just don't see. This is the only probable. Well, not only it's probable, and it's also the most risk to reward, you know, incentivized trade. So, because if you just bought it now, you're looking at this zone here. I mean, it's not as much. And then, like, where would you place your stop? Because this is your supply zone. So you gotta, if you're gonna use a stop, then you'd have to place it below. If you're just bullish, you know, Shiba, then by all means just buy it now. But that's not how I trade. I want to trade when things are moving the direction I want them to move, and I can capitalize on the move itself, and not just buy and pray kind of thing. So in my eyes, it's gonna have to break this zone here, obviously, just to go higher. and then I don't think it can really go much higher than this, right now, this month. I mean, unless a ton of momentum comes into the market, which definitely could, but I can't trade based on speculation and hopeful things. I have to trade based on what I see and my strategy and my criteria for trading. So this is my supply area right now. This is what I have to wait for. I gotta wait for price to come back down to about 895, and then target this 1,000 range again. And then if it doesn't come down to here, then there's no real trade for me. You can see price is bullish, like this recent 4-hour candle super bullish, and now this one might break above the zone. And then the bulls are in the market, but as far as a perfect trade entry, I just don't have one for Shiba. So that's all I got for this. We'll check it out later. I'm gonna put this September marker here so we know. I mean, it's done a lot of range already this month, so I don't know how much more we can expect of it, but there is clearly some momentum in the market, so it could definitely beat the zone. I just don't really have a good enough trade entry to justify anything. So that's Shiba.